यस देवान, हाँ ठीक है। ओके, तो फिर हम लोग स्टार्ट करते हैं। तो दोज हु वर नॉट देयर इन द क्लास, they will be able to listen that what is the structure of the tRNA, and all the diagrams which I have sent, you all have to make it and you make the PDF and then send it to me. Okay, so I want now how many diagrams that you will send the PDF. It will be all the biomolecules. Okay, starting from the carbohydrates. कार्बोहाइड्रेट्स में याद करो हमको स्ट्रक्चर्स चाहिए सबके। विच स्ट्रक्चर, एम आई ऑडिबल चिल्ड्रन टू एवरीवन? एम आई ऑडिबल?
Yes, ma'am.
नेहा?
Yes, ma'am.
हाँ, वॉइस क्लियर ना?
Yes, ma'am.
ठीक है। तो अब ये ध्यान रखना कि क्या-क्या आप पीडीएफ बना के हमको भेजेंगे। पहला तो कार्बोहाइड्रेट से स्टार्ट करेंगे। तो यू नो दैट इन द कार्बोहाइड्रेट्स यू हैव मेड द स्ट्रक्चर्स ऑफ द ट्राइओसेस, tetroses, pentoses, then hexoses. Okay, so those structures I want to see. Then second, I want to see the structure of the disaccharide which we have made. So that also you send the figure. And then you come to the proteins. In the proteins, I want to see the structure, that is your primary structure, secondary structure, tertiary structure. So that also I have sent the notes, and in that the figures are there. So you will be making those structures and then send me the PDF. Then come to the lipids. So I want the structure of the triglyceride molecule. So everyone will show me that equation which is showing the triglyceride molecule formation. So these are very, very important from your carbohydrates, proteins, and the lipids. Then in the DNA, you have to send me all the figures which I have sent to you. That is the DNA structure, then the your ladder one. Okay, so that's all. You have to send it in the PDF form along with the RNA, the general diagram of the RNA, then your mRNA and your tRNA. So these all diagrams you have to make it and send the PDF. I will check it and I will give you all back. I'll resend it. ओके, तो ये काम करना है और ये काम आपका कल आफ्टरनून तक है, कल इवनिंग तक का आपको टाइम देते हैं। So you send it by 5 o'clock tomorrow. And those who can send it early, it's your choice. But latest by tomorrow 5 o'clock, I should get all the figures of your carbohydrates, proteins, lipids, and nucleic acids. In nucleic acids, I want the structures of your ribose sugar, deoxyribose sugar, all the different nitrogenous basis structures are there. That also you will make it. Okay, and then you will make the structure of the DNA molecule, which is showing your bonding between the nitrogenous bases. The two strands are showing very clearly the anti-parallel structure. Okay, so that all diagrams are very very important for the exam also. अगर क्वेश्चन में आता है तो याद रखिए, you will support your answer by drawing all those diagrams. And one diagram is of the nucleoside and nucleotide also, which I have said. So that also you will be making. और अगर कोई diagram नहीं मिल रहा है what I am saying, तो just tell me. Otherwise, those all diagrams are there, and the notes today I will send it. So before starting with the next topic, that is the enzymes. So today we will start with the next topic, that is enzyme. उसके पहले जल्दी से tRNA का structure explain कर देना है. So Barbie will tell me quickly. Barbie, ready now?
Yes, ma'am.
So explain the structure of the tRNA.
So first of all, the tRNA is the transfer RNA. It is
Yes,
synthesized over the DNA template inside the
yes,
nucleus. It comes out to the nucleus through the nucleophore in, in the cytoplasm.
very good.
Now, the function of tRNA. RNA is
Yes.
to transfer the amino acid to transport and analyze which are present in the cytoplasm
Huh.
to the ribosome where the protein synthesis will take place,
Very
followed
good.
by the genetically transferred.
Very good. Okay.
Now the structure of tRNA.
Yes.
tRNA is having five arms. The first
Yes.
arm is the acceptor arm, which has
तो
seven
बात
paired bases.
just pause. I want to say ये बताना ही पड़ेगा that tRNA is also a single stranded structure. Okay, it is also a single stranded, but it is folded upon itself and forming the five arms. Okay, it is folded upon itself, thus it forms the five arms. Okay, अब ऐसे तो स्टार्टिंग में ये बोलना ही है क्योंकि वो भी सिंगल स्ट्रैंडेड है तो वो अपन बताएंगे ही दैट इट इज ऑल्सो सिंगल स्ट्रैंडेड एंड इट इज फोल्डेड अपॉन इटसेल्फ टू फॉर्म द फाइव आर्म्स. ठीक है, नाउ बारबी यू कैन कंटिन्यू.
Then the first arm is the acceptor arm. Uh,
Yes.
in the acceptor stem, there are seven paired bases plus
हाँ.
four nucleotides and uh, three dash terminal ACC having ACC sequence.
Very good.
And the
Okay.
acceptor arm is also attached to the amino acid.
No, not attached to the, you say the amino acid binds to the 3 dash terminal of the acceptor arm. What you will say?
The amino acid binds with the three dash terminal of the acceptor arm.
Very good. Okay.
Now
So
that
that is
uh,
the arm to which the amino acid binds. Okay, that way. Then next one.
then next is the B arm.
Yes.
It is having four paired four paired bases and five nucleotides.
No, so first you talk about the loop and the stem. That the
Hmm.
D arm is having the loop and the stem. D loop and the D stem. So D stem is having, it is having how many base pairs? हमेशा याद रखो स्टेम में बेस पेयर्स है और फ्री न्यूक्लिया इस लूप में प्रेजेंट है. So Barbie, now what you say?
And the arm is having the loop and the stem. The loop,
हाँ.
the stem is having the four base pairs, and the loop
हाँ.
is having five nucleotides, which are unpaired.
Okay, correct.
Uh,
Then.
then comes the third arm, which is
हाँ.
the anticodon arm.
हाँ.
It is also having the uh, um, loop and the stem.
Correct, very good.
In the anticodon stem, there are five base pairs,
Okay.
and uh, it is having seven unpaired nucleotides.
हाँ.
Here in
Yes.
the three nucleotides form the anticodon,
Yes.
which bind with the mRNA.
वेरी गुड. ओके, तो एमआरएनए की किसके साथ बाइंड होता है?
Right.
What is present on the mRNA to which this anticodons bind? What the anticodon binds with the mRNA you said, but mRNA में किसके साथ बाइंड होता है? बार्डी got it?
Codon.
Correct. Okay. It binds to
Um,
the codon of the mRNA. ठीक है, अब आगे बढ़ जाइए.
then come the fourth arm, which is the vulnerable arm.
Variable.
Hmm?
It is
Variable arm,
variable. हाँ.
as it is having any variable sets of
basis,
bases,
हाँ. Yes, हाँ.
so it's called the variable arm.
हाँ, okay.
Now the fifth
Then,
arm is the CNC
हाँ,
arm.
हाँ,
It is
three
it
sides.
is also having the loop and the
हाँ,
stem. The stem is having the five paired bases, and the loop
हाँ,
is having the seven nucleotides.
okay. So with this we finish up the structure of the tRNA. And what is this model of the tRNA known as?
Mm.
Neha will tell me now. Neha, can you tell me?
Clover F model.
Again, once again.
It was Clover, and then the other word I actually didn't get it, so I wrote something similar to it. I'm not sure
It,
about
it,
that.
it is leaf. It's
Okay,
L
I
E.
actually forgot to write the L.
अच्छा, लिख लीजिए. नाउ यू कैन कंप्लीट इट. ओके, दो
Yes.
स्टूडेंट्स हैव नॉट रिटन क्योंकि अपन लास्ट में बताया था हमने. इट इज क्लोवर लीफ. स्पेलिंग चेक कर लो. CLOVER, क्लोवर. LEAF, क्लोवर लीफ मॉडल. अच्छा, सो नाउ टेल मी, एवरीवन हैज अंडरस्टूड दिस tRNA, और ऐसा ही आप ओन वर्ड्स पर लिख पाओगे कि नहीं? Anyone
Yes.
who is having doubt in this structure what just now Barbie said? बस फिगर को समझ लेना है, वही आपको उन वर्ड्स में बोल देना है. ओके, और टू आर्म्स का याद रखना है विच इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, क्योंकि tRNA वर्क इज टू ट्रांसपोर्ट द amino acids or transfer the amino acids which are present in the cytoplasm to the ribosomes. तो इसका मतलब है tRNA के पास एक आर्म ऐसा होना चाहिए जिससे अमीनो एसिड बाइंड हो जाएंगे. ओके, तो वो लेके जाएगा और लेके जाने के बाद राइबोसोम ने उसको देना किसको है? mRNA को देना है. मीन्स इफ द polypeptide chain will be formed on the basis of the information which is coded on the mRNA. So the tRNA will bind with the mRNA. So there will be one arm which will bind with the mRNA present inside the ribosomes, or which is bounded to the, we will say which is bounded to the mRNA smaller subunit. So I have told you everything children. ठीक है, mRNA राइबोसोम के स्मॉलर सब यूनिट से बाइंड होता है, and then the tRNA will take or will carry the amino acid one amino acid at a time, and it will bind to the mRNA. ओके, तो वो mRNA के कोडोन से बाइंड होगा. So this tRNA, the anticodon arm, will have the complementary anticodon. The anticodon arm will have the complementary anticodon to the codons. It will be complementary to the codons present on the mRNA. So this should be known to everyone. अब अगर उधर पर अपन बोले कि mRNA में the codon present is AUG. So tell me what will be the anticodon of the tRNA? Quickly write it in your notebook just now. You write down the codon is AUG. mRNA का first codon, so you know it is AUG. Rumisha, what is this AUG codon called? Rumisha,
Initiation codon.
very good. Initiation codon. So what will be the anticodon which will bind with this codon? I said it is complementary. तब आप लिखो AUG नोटबुक में. फिर अब बताइए कि इसका एंटीकोडॉन क्या होगा? Can you tell me anyone? A will pair with?
U.
I don't think what I am saying. एंटीकोडॉन कॉम्प्लीमेंट्री है, मतलब उसका वो कॉम्प्लीमेंट्री बेसिस ही होंगे. तो ए का कॉम्प्लीमेंट्री क्या है?
Uracil.
Uracil.
वेरी गुड. ओके, एंड देन नेक्स्ट इज यू. तो यू के साथ क्या बाइंड होगा?
Cytosine.
Adenine.
Adenine.
हाँ, एडेनिन. So you write quickly AU. I will now start sharing and I will write quickly. Okay, नहीं तो थोड़ा सा डाउट रहेगा आप लोग को. Okay, I am presenting my screen, children, and then I will write it. So this also try to understand. फिर आपको समझ में आ जाएगा कि कैसे बाइंडिंग हो रही है. Did you get my screen now? Notepad is visible to you. Suppose AUG is there, children. Okay, that is the initiation codon. You got it?
Yes, ma'am.
Huh.
Yes, ma'am.
All can see my screen now? The screen is visible?
Yes, ma'am.
So
Yes,
you
ma'am.
find that AUG is the initiation codon. So what will be its complementary anticodon? So the complementary anticodon will be A will pair with U. So you will write down U. Then the next is U. So U will pair with A and G will pair with
C.
C. So AUG is the codon children. अब इनको ना इनके बीच में आपको क्या करना है, bonds banana hai, means the short dashes sort of you will make it. Okay, so make the bond AUG और AU के बीच में बना दो, एक बॉन्ड बनाना है, वो 2 और 3 नहीं दिखानी है अपन को. Okay, and then you write down AUG is present where? It is present on the, it is the codon. I should write out small. It is the codon on mRNA. Okay, and so what will be the anticodon? So the down one is your anticodon. Is it clear to everyone, children, what I am explaining you?
Yes, ma'am.
Got it ना? तो अपन को अगर कोडॉन दिया है और फिर एंटीकोडॉन पूछा तो आप बता सकते हैं. And if it is the anticodon given and if they ask the codon, so then you will be able to tell if you know what is the pairing. Okay, what is the complementary pairing? So in the exam, this way the questions are asked that on the mRNA, the codons are this. अब वो कुछ भी हो सकता है, isn't it? तो एंटीकोडॉन कहाँ प्रेजेंट रहता है? Where is the anticodon present? Rumisha, where is anticodon present?
tRNA.
Which arm of the tRNA?
Anticodon arm.
Anticodon arm of the tRNA. So understood everyone this thing? चलिए तो अब अपना खत्म हो जाता है. Now I will start with the enzymes. So put today's date, children, and if you have not drawn the diagram, so leave the pages for your diagrams. Okay, and everyone is doing the work in good long notebook and everything is going on properly. Okay, in one notebook. ऐसा तो नहीं कि यहाँ वहाँ लिखते हैं. All are having the proper notebook ना?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So if you find that you need the space for drawing the diagrams, so you leave the pages according to your need. Okay, and then you take up a fresh page and write down enzymes and put today's date. Okay,
Ma'am,
because things, yes.
ma'am, I cannot find the diagrams of the trioses and pentoses and means those diagrams. Can you send it again?
I will send it again. Don't worry. Okay, ठीक है. I will send again the diagram. And triglyceride formation is there.
Yes, ma'am. Others are there.
Others are there. ठीक है. And the starch, that one maltose formation and all that is there.
Yes, ma'am.
ठीक है. So I will send only those, your ketose sugars and your aldose sugars and all that is from first member to the last member. So I will send the 6 carbon one. Okay, so you will get an idea ki how we make the structure. Okay, so we are starting with which topic now? Enzymes. We are starting with enzymes. So how many of you all know? Acha, first now I'll show you the video and then we'll discuss about it. How many of you all know what are enzymes? एंजाइम्स आप तो 10 एंजाइम्स के नाम तो बता ही सकते हैं. यस और नो? Shravani, can you name some enzymes?
मैम सलाइवरी एंजाइम.
फुल नेम बताइए. What is that name? Salivary. Who can correct it? Anyone can correct quickly.
Salivary amylase.
हाँ, salivary amylase. ठीक है. Number 1. Number 2. Raj will tell me one enzyme name. Raj.
Yes, ma'am.
हाँ. Tell me the name of one enzyme. राज बहुत स्लो चलते हो.
Ma'am, trypsin.
ठीक है. Trypsin. Okay. Then Barbie will tell me one enzyme name.
And sucrase.
Sucrase. Okay. Now Rumisha.
Maltase.
Maltase. Okay. Devanshi.
Lipase.
Lipase. Okay. First you see the video, isn't it? फिर हम slides दिखाते हैं. ठीक है. So I hope you understood that these are all the different enzymes which you have been studying when we were doing the process of digestion. So you have understood that enzymes help in the process of digestion. Okay, and all the metabolic processes, remember children, which are occurring in the living organisms, they all are controlled by the chemical substances which are proteinaceous in nature, which are which are what is the
Proteinaceous
chemical
in
nature?
nature.
हाँ, प्रोटीनेशियस व्हेन आई से, इसका मतलब कि वो प्रोटीन के बने हुए हैं. मीन्स दे आर मेड अप ऑफ द अमीनो एसिड्स. Okay, and these chemical substances which are helping in the different chemical reactions, that is the biochemical reactions, they are known as enzymes. Okay, and these enzymes, what is the mechanism of action of the enzyme, then what is the chemical nature, structure of the enzymes, what are the factors affecting enzymes, that all we have to study. So listen to this.
Dynamic state of the body. All living organisms, whether unicellular or multicellular, need energy to survive. They get this energy from food. Plants photosynthesize to make their food, and animals are dependent on plants for their food. To get energy from food, the nutrients are broken down to simple compounds. This breakdown is a series of biochemical reactions, leading to a release of energy, some of which gets dissipated as heat, and the rest is converted to ATP. The breakdown of complex substances into simple ones with a release of energy is called catabolism. Smaller biomolecules are utilized to form a complex biomolecule. The reactions involved in the building up of complex substances require energy, and the process is known as anabolism. Catabolism and anabolism are together known as metabolism and are necessary for the sustenance of life. Thus, metabolism determines life. It is a basic characteristic feature of living organisms.
Now tell me how many students have understood what is anabolism and what is catabolism. The metabolism involves two processes. What is catabolism? Devanshi will tell me.
The process of breakdown of organic substance is called catabolism.
Very good. Okay. And then anabolism.
The synthesis of organic substance is called anabolism.
And in your body also, remember children, both the processes are going on. The breakdown of the substances, that is also going on, and the synthesis of some substances, that is also going on. Okay, so now you have seen that the amino acids will join together to form the proteins. So that is the synthesis, that is anabolic process. Okay, and then the digestion process where you are seeing that the complex compounds, complex the food which you are eating is breaking down into the simple molecules which can be absorbed. You call that process as the anabolic or catabolic. Now Rumisha will tell me. Digestion will be which type of the process? Rumisha, quickly.
Catabolism.
Catabolism. Why? Because the complex substances, biomolecules, they are breaking into simple molecules. Okay. So I hope this much is clear. You would like to see it once again? Or shall I move to the next one? राज, आपको समझ में आ गया कि एक बार फिर से देखना चाहेंगे?
मैम आ गया.
राज आ गया. चलिए, तो we will move ahead.
Digestion is an important metabolic process. Let us see the catabolic and anabolic aspects of digestion. During digestion, starch, a complex polysaccharide, is broken down into maltose and then to glucose. This breakdown releases a lot of energy. The energy released from the breakdown of complex food constituents is used to bind a phosphate molecule to adenosine diphosphate to form adenosine triphosphate. The phosphate bonds are high energy bonds. The stored energy in ATP is used for anabolic reactions like synthesis of complex carbohydrates, proteins, and other biomolecules.
Children, you'll try to make up this structure, that what is anabolism, catabolism, that they are explaining, that how the digestion is involving both the processes. Okay, it is including the catabolism also and the anabolism also. Catabolism, where you find the starch is breaking into maltose, further breaking into maltose, further giving you what?
Glucose.
Speak up, children. Glucose. ठीक है, अब then the glucose will be oxidized, so then the energy will be produced. and that energy is used up in the formation of the ATP. So in the previous slide, you have seen that ADP is getting converted into ATP. Okay, now here what they are showing, that is ATP, that is adenosine. I hope you have understood the same compound what we have studied, adenosine combining with the combining with how many phosphate? Top, how many phosphate attached to it ATP? How many
3.
phosphates are attached? Three phosphate. Triphosphate बोला मतलब कि तीन phosphate attached है, and then you find that when it will break up. So the bonds, these bonds are only the high energy phosphate bonds. What you call these bonds?
High energy phosphate bonds.
Now what will happen when the breakdown will take place? जब जरूरत है, एनर्जी की जरूरत है, उस समय क्या होगा, ये बॉन्ड्स ब्रेक होंगे. So then you are seeing down that ADP will be formed and the phosphate will be released, and you will get ADP. What you will be getting?
ADP.
एडीपी. तो दो फॉस्फेट बचे, एक फॉस्फेट हट गया, एंड एनर्जी विल बी रिलीज्ड. देखिए, सो दिस इज अ रिवर्सिबल रिएक्शन. Can you see in the center the reversible arrows are there, which is showing that ATP will form ADP, and by the breakdown of one, that is a phosphate, and then ADP by the addition of one phosphate will form the ATP again. So this is reversible process. It goes on in a cyclic way. So ATP provides energy for anabolic processes. All your synthesis processes in the living organism will require energy, and that energy will be provided by the ATP molecule. And how it will be provided? By the breakdown of the third phosphate. The bond when it breaks, it is the high energy phosphate bond. जब वो break होगा तो energy release होगी, और जब वो bond बनेगा, तो then that is ADP. When combined with the phosphate to form the ATP, energy will be needed.
For example, glucose is stored in the body by converting it into long chains of glycogen. Energy from ATP hydrolysis is used for the formation of bonds of the polysaccharide chain. Thus, the process of breakdown of carbohydrates is catabolic, as it breaks down complex compounds into simple ones, while the synthesis of glycogen is an anabolic process. All living organisms need a continuous supply of energy to carry out all body functions and to maintain homeostasis. Metabolic processes provide the energy required for this. Thus, metabolism is the basis of life.
How many students have understood this much? The question is asked here, what would happen if anabolism exceeds catabolism in digestion? So now Rumisha, read out the answer.
When the rate of anabolism exceeds the rate of catabolism, it can result either in growth or in weight gain. This is because amount of energy stored is more than the amount of energy used.
Energy used. Is it clear? So that is only, so what is exceeding? The anabolism is exceeding the catabolism. Synthesis process ज़्यादा हो रहा है और breakdown कम हो रहा है. And that is only happening during the obesity children. Why the people will get obese? Because they eat a lot, but whatever they are eating, that is not broken down. Okay, that is not utilized. Utilized कब होता है? जब वो break down होता है. And if there will be no breakdown, अगर वो catabolism of that food will not be there, so then it will be synthesized only. It will synthesize what? The fats, and fats will only get stored in the adipose tissues, and it will lead to the obesity. So,
all metabolic processes involve biological molecules called enzymes that act as catalysts. Enzymes help in increasing the speed of the reactions by lowering its activation energy. Chemically, all enzymes are proteins as they are made of amino acid chains, which are folded to form a three-dimensional globular structure. Each enzyme has a specific site for binding specific compounds during chemical reactions. This site is called the enzyme's active site, and the compound that binds to it is called the substrate. The structure of the active site is determined by the amino acid sequence in the enzyme. The active site is substrate specific. The specificity of the enzyme to its substrate is like a lock and its key. The shape of an active site is such that only a substrate having a complementary structure can fit into it. This is why an enzyme is specific for its substrate. The enzyme forms an enzyme substrate complex with a particular substrate. The substrate undergoes a biochemical reaction and the products are formed. Since the products are not complementary to the active site, they do not bind to it and get released. The enzyme itself remains unchanged. It is then ready to bind to another substrate molecule. Most enzymes also have a non-protein component called the cofactor. An enzyme without its cofactor is called as an apoenzyme, while an enzyme combined with its cofactor is called as holoenzyme. The binding of the prosthetic group alters the active site such that it can bind the substrate. Cofactors can be of three different types: prosthetic groups, activators, and coenzymes. Prosthetic groups are organic compounds permanently bound to the enzyme. Activators are inorganic ions that bind temporarily to the enzyme. Coenzymes are organic compounds that bind temporarily to enzymes. They are either vitamins or their derivatives. Thymine pyrophosphate, NAD, NADP, and coenzyme A are some examples.
so you have seen here what all we have to cover in very brief. They have explained anything, everything here. Okay, what is the structure? What is the chemical nature of the enzyme? They are all proteins. Okay, so each part we will take up one by one. The lock and key theory they have explained, and what is cofactor, what is the non-protein part, that all they have explained just now. Now I would like, so I'm stopping the sharing, children. We will take up each part one by one. So what you will be doing, you will be reading the enzymes topic which is given in the textbook. So I want the first 4 pages, or you can read up the whole of the enzymes, it's not very long. The total pages of the enzymes which are given in the textbook, try to read it. Okay, and then we will start with the enzymes. We'll discuss the same thing what you have seen in the video one by one, and we will and you will be noting the things. How many have understood something? Can you write in the chat box? वीडियो देखकर कितना समझ में आया? Number 1, the structure. Number 2, the mechanism of action. And what are cofactors? That all they have covered very nicely. The video was showing. So write in the chat box how much you have understood. वो वीडियो कितना समझ में आया? जल्दी लिखो, फिर we will end up the class. Right, children? Okay, Devanshi understood. Ritu, Shravani. Okay, very good. So next period, we'll quickly try to write all these things. Okay, you have seen here the video आपको समझ में आ गया है. अब उसको ऑर्गेनाइज करके सब जल्दी से लिख लेना है. So next period we'll try to finish up the things. Okay, 2 period तो लग ही जाएंगे and then we'll complete the enzymes. So we'll do Shanti part, children. Join your hands. Close your eyes. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Sai Ram, children.